This is my final review of the iPhone 16 Plus from an Android user's perspective. I got 10 categories for you. Each one I'm going to rate them from 1 to 5, 5 being the best. At the end of the video, I'm going to give you one final grade and let you know if I would recommend this phone or not. So first off, we're going to start off with the cool factor and design. I give this category a 4 out of 5. I mean, it doesn't fold, doesn't bend like any of Samsung or the other cool folding phones out there. But at the end of the day, it is a fine, normal, safe design. Everyone knows it is an iPhone. It looks like an iPhone, but what you're getting from it is the social factor, especially you live in the US. For some reason, people love iPhone. Everyone uses the iPhone. Even in the dating area, if you use an Android phone, you text them with a green bubble, they'll look at you like you're an alien. I can't explain it. It's not logical, but it is what it is. It's just the way of the world. People can think whatever they think. So there's definitely a lot of value of using an iPhone and seeing blue bubbles. I mean, across the world, no one else really cares, but that is a big factor in the US. Some people judge you for using an Android phone and having green bubbles, unfortunately. So the design's pretty basic, nothing crazy. And for the US model, it has eSIM only. So you switch phones a lot like I do, that can be a pain. Some carrier charge you if you switch more than 5 times a year. So just keep that in mind. If you switch your phone every 3 to 7 years, like most normal people, try to hold it as long as you can until the phone stops responding. That might not be an issue. But for me, eSIM is just something that causes a little bit of friction. It's not the end of the world, but it is slightly annoying. You get USB-C in the iPhone 16 Plus this year. Thank God. For whatever reason, Lightning cable been around for so many years, and even some of the products Apple have USB-C, they just don't do it across the board. Of course, it's a money thing. They can make money selling the Lightning cable instead of the standard USB-C that everyone else just uses. But luckily for us, the EU forced them to have USB-C, so here we are. USB-C it is. I'm glad that I don't need to find another cable. I have 10,000 USB-C cables around the house, which is great for me. You get the action button on the 16 model this year. Last year it was only in the Pro model, I think. Who knows? But anyways, action button I think is overrated. You can customize it to launch camera, flashlight, or whatever you want. Previously, before it became the action button, it was just a mute button, which has been there since the beginning of time. I still left it as a mute button and never really... Actually, I do use it to mute on and off the phone, but I don't want to customize it to anything else. You also get a new button this year on the right hand side. I think it's in kind of an awkward place. It's right where my palm is resting. So whenever I'm using it, I have to shift my hand down, and I don't like shifting my hand up and down unless I have to. And I feel like every time I move my phone around, there's a potential for me to drop it. So camera button's nice. I probably use it once or twice just for demonstration purposes, but on a normal day-to-day basis, I just use the camera app icon like the old-fashioned way. This phone does have a camera hump sticking out the back like most flagship phone these days. If you're laying it flat on the table, you're playing some games and you're tapping buttons, the phone's gonna rock back and forth, so keep in mind unless you're using a case. Pixel phone does a little bit of a better job because it got a giant bar across the board, so it is flatter and it doesn't wobble as much if that's the thing that bother you. And before jumping to the next category, just want to give a quick shout out to my partner Mint Mobile. Currently they offer a 5G plan for as low as $15 a month. You do have to buy 3 months up front. You get access to unlimited data, talk, and text. Overall, it is a great deal, so make sure to check them out. Link in the description below. Oh man, I spent like 4 minutes on first category. But next category is battery. It's an easy 5 out of 5 for me. It lasts me 48.5 hours. So 2 days and a half hour on top of that. Amazing battery. It is probably the best battery life I've ever used any other phone. I used the iPhone 15 Pro Plus last year. I get about 36 hours. OnePlus 12R I get 36 hours. And this one I get 2 days worth. And I purposely try to avoid charging the phone and I push the phone to its limit. I record videos like these, 10 to 20 minute session. I play a game at least an hour. I have music blasting all night long. I have YouTube playing. I did not shy away from using this phone at all, but overall, battery is simply amazing. Next category I have is customization and features. This is a 4 out of 5 for me. I just wish the notification was easier to access. Being such a large phone, I had to reach all the way to the left-hand corner to access the notification, and then I had to reach all the way to the right-hand corner if I want to turn off Wi-Fi. So it's a lot of work. On Android phone, I can swipe down anywhere on the screen, especially a larger phone. That comes in handy because you don't need to keep reaching back and forth, tilting your phone. There's a chance of dropping it. And I find that the notification panel is a little hard to handle whenever I'm swiping it. Sometimes I swipe left, it brings to this Apple home discovery page with news and things like that. And sometimes when I'm trying to swipe away the notification, I accidentally launch the camera. Sometimes the notification go away in one swipe. Sometimes it gives me another menu and I gotta swipe it again. So overall, I feel like the experience is inconsistent. Maybe I'm just not used to iOS and the gestures. But for me, being a long time Android user, switching over to iPhone, I feel like there's a lot of friction for me just accessing the notification. And once I get to notification, just having consistent UI capability there of performing things that I expect it to do, and it does the opposite thing. So I get a lot of inconsistency there, so I don't really like that. So 4 out of 5 for customization and features. I mean, you get a couple extra buttons here and there, but they're not life-changing by any means. Camera, I give this phone a 4 out of 5. In general, iPhone, Google, Samsung, you get the best camera there, and even OnePlus these days do a really good job with the camera. But for me, when I recorded videos on using my iPhone, I do not get good quality when I try to import it to my Windows computer or upload it to Google Photos. For whatever reason, the quality get compressed. It looks very pale and yellow. On the phone, it looks nice, but on the computer, it doesn't. So that's a downside there. I don't have a Mac and any of the other Apple products, so you're just using the iPhone with your Windows ecosystem. It's gonna be weird. I didn't bother looking it up because that's gonna require more work on my part. With any Android phone, I just record videos, I upload to Google Photos, I download it to edit. If I want, I just plug my phone in on the computer, drag and drop, I get high quality videos. But with iPhone, it gets a little weird and compressed when you're trying to drag and drop into the Windows computer or using Google Photos. Let me know if anyone ever figure out a workaround. I'm not a heavy iPhone user and I don't feel like doing more research on it. I feel like it's extra work, and for me, I don't have a lot of time. If it's extra work, I'm just gonna avoid it. So instead of recording this video using my amazing iPhone 16 Plus, I'm just using my reliable base Galaxy S24. Using the selfie camera, video portrait mode. Performance wise, it's the next category. I give this phone a 5 out of 5. You get the A18 chip this year, so one of the best that Apple has to offer. If you get the Pro model, you get the A18 Pro, but this is fast, it's smooth, and it will be perfect for 99% of people unless you're doing heavy gaming and want the extra oomph on top. For me personally, any phone over the last 4 years, if you're just watching YouTube, scrolling through Twitter, Instagram, this will be just fine. Screen, I give this a 3 out of 5. It is only a 60 Hz refresh rate, which is unacceptable. Actually, I don't really care, but many other standard flagship phone, you get 90 Hz, you get 120 Hz. Even this random Doji phone that I bought for my mom for $200, it has 90 Hz refresh rate. So Apple is saving all the best features for the Pro model. You want 120 Hz and beyond, you got to get the Pro model and spend more than $1,000. So I don't really like that. It's also missing always on display. They're saving that for the Pro model as well. I don't feel like it's a pro feature. Android phone have had these features on many of the basic flagship phone for many years under $600. So I knock up a few points there just from the screen perspective, but they do make up for it on the battery side since there's not always on display. There's no high refresh rate, so the battery is amazing. Apps, you get a 5 out of 5. Apple generally tends to get the best app. They get it first. It is more optimized. Any other Android phone, there's a billion of them out there, so it's really hard to optimize for every single phone. Therefore, a lot of developers, they make apps for Apple first, and then they will make a generic format across the board. And sometimes Samsung or Google, theirs get to be a little bit more customized if they have time for it. So you want apps. For me personally these days, there's really no specific app that Apple has or Android has that I really need on the other ecosystem. I just use all the basic YouTube, social media, Twitter, Instagram, all that is available on all platforms. So not a big deal for me. Ecosystem, 5 out of 5, of course. So you have all Apple products. It's going to work really well for me. I do not. So video editing does not work well for me. But you have iPhone, iPad, Macs. They all talk to each other. You have AirPod. You take it off. You can listen to your Mac. You can listen to the computer. You can listen to your iPad. They all talk to each other. They got the Find My Device function. If you lose one piece, they can all link to each other and track to each other. So Apple does a really amazing job with the ecosystem. So a lot of people who have Apple products, it's really hard for them to switch out or switch to a new phone because it just does not integrate well with their ecosystem. So I see how they provide a lot of value there and people just get stuck in it and they're fine with it. If you like all Apple products and you're happy with it, just do you. For me, I like to venture off, try different folding phones, bending phones, flipping phones, and that it takes more work if you want to integrate it perfectly unless you're using everything in one ecosystem. So value, I get this a 4 out of 5. $900 is not too shabby for a large phone with a big battery, awesome processor, a good camera, 2 days worth of battery life. but it's still missing always on display. That is probably the key feature that I miss most, just because I have it on every single one of my Android phone, and I can just glance at my notification. I don't need to pick up my phone to see my notification. I don't even know if I get new notifications sometimes because it's not always on display. There you have it. Overall, it is a score of 44 out of 50, so 88%, a solid B plus for this phone. So get this phone if you just want incredible battery life. Don't need to worry about charging your phone at night. You can just plug it here and there if you're driving around. Have a wireless charger and you slap it on here and there. You love big screens. This is it. You don't want to spend over $1,000. Overall, really solid choice. It is safe, reliable for all your friends and family. They're all using iPhone. You want to be part of the iPhone family. Just get this phone and don't even think about it. If you don't like being a green bubble, don't be a green bubble. For me, I don't really care. I just use whatever phone I want, and I'll be that guy that mess up the group chat for everybody, and I'm fine with it. I wish the notification handling was easier, like on Android phone where you can swipe anywhere. That's probably the biggest inconvenience for me. Notification is hard to reach and manage, and always on display is missing. So between getting notification and handling the notification, I think it is really inconvenient on this large iPhone. I still prefer smaller phones myself, so this one's not for me, but it might be for you. Alright guys, there you have it. Let me know what your thoughts, comments, concerns are in the comments below. Remember to like and subscribe, and see you guys in the next video.